Welcome back to more Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster, playing this for the first time, thanks to a review code sent to me by Square Enix. But anyway, we are heading out to the fire, I wouldn't call it a temple, like it's just a volcano, but where the Fiend of Fire presumably is. And wow, those crocodiles hit a lot harder than anything in the ice dungeon apart from the ice dragons, and not even those actually. Specifically, it's the white crocodiles, though. White crocs. The regular green ones are a lot weaker. Though I'm pretty sure I've encountered them before the regular green ones. Anyway, I think I'll see you once I'm actually at the volcano itself. Unless something crazy happens. I mean, not exactly something crazy, but it almost feels like the Ochus aren't weak to fire, because otherwise the fire sword would have been doing a lot more damage. And hey, Teo levels up. Pretty good one all around, actually. Okay, yeah, so from here we can cross over to this thing via hi there enemies. And Duncan levels up and only gains HP. But I think we should all be, yeah, we're all level 30 now. So, before we go in, a few things. Firstly, I am unequipping the flame sword because chances are it's gonna be much worse than anything else I have against the enemies in here. Secondly, I think now might be a time, I mean, it feels like a bit of a waste, but I kind of want to try and use something like, oh, if you press on them, you can actually see which classes can use them. That's cool. Okay, so red mages can use swords, and the thief can use the coral sword. Saber can also be used by the thief. That's actually really cool. I like that. Yeah, only warrior can use shields. Only monk can use nunchaku, which is weird because they kind of make him worse. What I actually came here to do was to... sleeping bag's probably not good enough. I guess I'll use a tent. There's a funny glitch with the cottages in the original game where they save the game before they restore your spell charges and not after, which means not only do you lose those spell charges if you reload, but if you refuse the save prompt when using a cottage, then you won't get your spells recovered because it's tied directly to the saving. That's a bit of a... I mean, this music kind of doesn't fit this area that well. Are we gonna have to just straight up walk on the lava? I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna be happening here. I'm guessing we'll take damage every step. Yep. Only one though, so... yeah, let's just walk right across the boiling hot lava. Oh wow, that's a cool enemy. Though honestly that's more... well, I mean, it does have a human face on it, but I was thinking like it looks more like a manticore than a sphinx. But let's just see how much Blizzard does to it. Or, you know, it could die before I get a chance. I feel like this dungeon is going to be easier for me. Okay, hopefully that achievement pop-up shows up in the recording. I've changed OBS so that it sets to quote-unquote record third-party overlays such as Steam. So I think that might have been the... oh boy, okay then, that's scary. That's a big maze. But yeah, I think, it's also a whole heap of chests down there. I'm guessing a lot of them are monsters. And we could bypass a lot of this by walking the lava, so that's kind of good to know. But, anyway. Yeah, hopefully that picks up, because the earlier, version of Steam that... the earlier version of OBS I was using, when I used it to record Trails in the Sky, I obviously could pick up the achievement pop-ups, and so it's a little annoying that I didn't here. There will have been a lot of instances in earlier parts where I react to achievements, and you won't see that because of the, you know, yeah, that overlay not recording, but hopefully that was not a great all-targeting spell there. But hopefully you can see them now. This might be a good test because when I do Sky the Third, I mean, you might be watching this when I've already done that. When I cover that game, I obviously want the achievement pop-ups to be visible because that game has some kind of brutal achievements in it. Like, you know, the ones that are requiring me to do a test playthrough on Nightmare. Which kind of makes me wonder, like, if this game had some kind of a Nightmare difficulty. I mean, I feel like there probably could be a mod that makes this game way harder. Like, I mean, honestly, like, this being on Steam probably means that it's modded quite a lot. But, I mean, in terms of the original game, like, I wouldn't be surprised if people modded the original FF1 to make it harder. So I am guessing that you guys are weak to Blizzard. Yeah, that looks like a weakness. And we'll just use attacks to finish off this last one. I don't know if the ice shield and the ice armor are making me weak to fire or not. A lot of equipment in earlier RPGs usually only made you resistant to things. It didn't really give you additional weaknesses, usually. And if it did give you weaknesses, it was often in the form of, like, doing certain things to, like, your status, like armor that gives you the Toad status automatically, or the Imp status. Which in, oh, I want that other chest. Which in certain, games, I know there was, like, a set of equipment. These are, like, enemies that we've seen way earlier in the game. That's kind of sad. Like, if anything, these things are actually weaker than the enemies that we were fighting in, like, the Earth Cave. Which is sad. I think I said, which is sad, twice. Oh, Blizzara. Okay. Maybe I stand corrected there. Oh, right, of course, because it's an Ogre Mage. No, we did fight those a little after the Earth Cave. I do kind of wonder how, like, I mean, I wonder if there's, like, a Kaizo hack of this or something. It's kind of referring to the original game there, but it could be for this version too. Although it might be hard to balance so that it would be beatable by any combination of classes. I can try Blizzara here. Should probably save my Blizzargas if I have them. In fact, I don't think I have Blizzarga because it would be a level, like, the Blizzard spells seem to be a level higher than the Fire spells. But I should probably save those for the boss, thinking about that now. Great Sword. Wait a minute, isn't that way worse than what I currently have? Yeah, it's a bit... Well, it does have a higher accuracy, which, from what I've heard, actually does affect multi-attack rate. So maybe if I do that, I'll actually be doing more damage overall, because I'll be multi-attacking more often. And level up, more agility, which I don't know if that affects multi-attack rate, or if that just affects, evasion and stuff. Fire Hydra. Well, not a fire hydrant, but a fire... And it's dead, okay. I guess you just cut off all of its heads in one swing. I guess that's how Hercules should have done it. That would have been pretty hard given how big the Hydra was in that movie, though. This seemed like a much smaller Hydra. I always liked the Hydra in Disney's Hercules. In fact, I always liked Disney's Hercules in general. It's still, like, I totally understand its kind of, its plot issues and stuff. It is still my favorite 2D animated Disney movie, just, yeah, still really like it. Though I am glad that, Kingdom Hearts finally moved on from, just the Colosseum and, actually started adapting, like, the ending of the actual film. You again. By that I mean, like, another one of these sprites. And it's more elementals. So with elementals almost seem always chaotic evil in this game. When, you know, they're... Typically, a lot of the elemental spirits in RPGs are on your side, but... I mean, in D&D, a lot of the elementals are typically evil. More strength on Teal is appreciated. So, let's play a game, and the game is called How Many of These Chests Are Monsters? Place your bets. How many of them have monsters in them? Okay, that's one no monster. Okay, none so far. Well, one of them had monsters. Oh, hi, that I don't like that spit effect. That looks creepy. And also for a lava worm, you look disturbingly not on fire. Antidote. Okay, that's 2 monster chests. It's another lava worm, which honestly... Oh, I was just going to say it's going to die to 1 punch, but no. Okay, nice stamina there, actually. Still 2. Still 2. Still 2. Still 2. Oh, that's an annoying set of enemies. Of course, it hits only my physical attackers. Of course, they're both such bosses they can hit even while blinded. You fool! You failed to realize the sunglasses only make us cooler. Okay, so 3 of them were monsters. So whoever had 3, you win the invisible prize. Okay, so now I just need to get out of this maze. And I can't do it from this side at all, it looks like. What's the point of that door, then, if I can't? Oh, okay. You, given that your Cockatrice palette swaps, can probably petrify me. Don't petrify him, please. No, thank you. Still don't know if this greatsword is doing more. Wow, okay, they're pathetic if they die to a white mage attack. Yeah, like, what is the point of this door? It doesn't look like I can get anywhere from there. I've heard that is a thing with Final Fantasy 3 dungeons. No, I mean 2 dungeons. Apparently in Final Fantasy 2, a lot of the dungeons are kind of mazes of dead ends and just are really annoying in general, so... Yeah, I'm honestly, like, it's just kind of funny because... On the one hand, like, I know about the weird and controversial leveling up system in FF2, and I have noticed looking up these games on Steam that both this game and Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster, they both have review scores of very positive, while the Final Fantasy 2 Pixel Remaster has a review score of mostly positive, which is probably because FF2 is a less well-regarded game overall. But on the other hand, it does mean that, like, you know, I could suffer reverse hype backlash. I mean, if my expectations are that low, I can only be surprised, so... And like, FF2 is just such an obscure and such a not normally well-liked game that I honestly feel like the chances of me actually liking it are pretty high. So, yeah, I'll have to see what happens if I get there. I'm honestly more interested in playing 3 first, as weird as that sounds, but I'm also interested to see if I end up getting pleasantly surprised by 2, although I do know that, like, with the lack of, the extra content in the GBA version that Pixel Remaster has, there's kind of a cool plot in, the original that I won't get to play, which is annoying. From what I've heard, though, it's not great gameplay-wise, but the premise sounds kind of cool. But to say what it is would be kind of a spoiler for Final Fantasy II's plot. So, because I might actually play that game one day, I don't think I should spoil it. Yeah, this area looks like there's a whole lot to it that doesn't really matter all that much, but right now, visually, it's starting to really remind me of the lower floors of Groudon's dungeon in Mystery Dungeon 1. Forget what that place was even called, but yeah. It had really great music too, especially in the deep parts. It's one thing that I thought was kind of cool about Mystery Dungeon is that, like, the sort of second halves that dungeons had, and that were kind of treated as their own sort of separate mini dungeon within a dungeon, and they usually had different music and slightly different aesthetics to them. It's kind of like in Persona Q how the dungeon aesthetic usually changes when you're halfway through. Speaking of the themes and aesthetics changing halfway through, I feel like an underrated track from Explorers is Temporal Spire. Because everyone talks about how good the Temporal Tower song is, but I think Temporal Spire is a bit of an underrated track. It just kind of gives you that just calm before the storm feeling leading up to the final battle. Now this floor, on the other hand, has a lot more areas to... Oh, actually, no, it's the same place as before. It's just on a different side. Oh, hi there, you guys are back. You're pretty much the same as you were in the Earth Cave. I know there were like Minotaur brothers that were actually bosses in Final Fantasy VIII, which I didn't end up playing much of. I played a tiny bit of it on PC a little while back, and then I lost the computer that was on, so that was kind of... I was like right before the end of Disc 1. Hi there. It's just the green color of these things and the fact that they're worms just unfortunately makes me think of Mara. I had to say it. Can't unsee that from a certain other RPG series. You know, I wonder if the... Oh, hi there, fire lizard? I did see one of these lizards in an earlier area, but, it's probably... No, it's not dead yet. Yeah, it's definitely dead now. I was just gonna say, probably wouldn't survive a 300 hit from Duncan, but, yeah. So, there's a few directions we could go. Oh, I was gonna check, what was inside all of the rooms when I was inside one of the rooms. Well, that's new. Don't think they could have called them a Hellhound in the NES translation. I still love Heckhounds in Secret of Mana. That was just such a funny way to, like, joke about the censorship. Right. Hey, there's a lot of chests there, chests, like, just chests everywhere, really. You could make an immature joke about that. Blaze. Okay, that was way worse than I expected it to be. But because I went through the ice cave first, as I said at the start of this dungeon's probably going to be pretty easy for me. Like, we can just, like, the lava isn't even much of a threat either. Let's just, yeah. Wasn't Fire Lizard the name of one of the fan translators for a certain Fire Emblem game? Was it, like, the early Thracia one? It was either Thracia or FE6. Oh, I had a feeling at least one of them would be monsters. Oh no, Mara's back. Die. Let me guess. Another one? Another one. Okay. That is probably going to be effective here. Oh, yes! I had a feeling that because the ice dungeon contained a fire sword, I had a feeling that we would be getting an ice sword here. Wow, okay, better objectively too. I am glad I went this way. See, that's actually something that I think is kind of cool about these dungeons, is that, like, there's an optional out-of-the-way chest that contains something that helps you beat the dungeon. Like, it's actually almost Zelda-like, but optional, because it's not like an item that's required for solving puzzles or absolutely necessary for beating the boss, but it is an item that has the elemental weakness of the enemies inside this place. Now I think about it, like, it's just, I was just thinking for a second that it's kind of a shame that the monk doesn't really get much of an opportunity to hit weaknesses. I was thinking it would be kind of cool if they had some ability to imbue their fists with elements. Because I think monks can, or at least a certain subclass of monks can do that in D&D itself. Hi there, Fire Gigas. On second thoughts, I'd rather flee. I don't want this ambush. Took a hit from that, pretty fine. But, okay, that hurts. Yeah, there's like a monk subclass in D&D called Way of the Four Elements that is pretty much just Avatar. And I think that can imbue their punches with different elements, but I kind of wish that monks got to do that in like this game or something, because then they could hit elemental which, I mean, honestly, if they could hit elemental weaknesses, they'd be even more ridiculous in terms of overall damage, but I've heard they're actually not considered like a super strong class in this game. They're considered like okay, but not That guy was apparently a worm wearing a cloak. But yeah, they're apparently, like, kind of considered a mid-tier class overall and not totally essential. Is this going to be monsters? No, okay. No, there's more chests over this way, so I guess I'm going to have to go in this direction. It would be kind of a jerk move if they actually put a plot-required item in one of these out-of-the-way chest rooms. But, like, I do like the fact that, like, again, you get, like, a weapon that is good against a lot of the enemies in the dungeon in like, a chest that you do have to go a little bit out of your way for. I think that's actually a good way to incentivize exploring. And I kind of wish a lot of modern RPGs would do that with the dungeons. Like, this game's very simple, and in a lot of ways, its dungeons are kind of haphazardly designed, but some of them are kind of nice. That was a major waste of a high potion, but oh well, I have billions of them. Not literally billions, but you get the idea. Have even more of them now. So yeah, overall, like again, despite the overall simplicity, said overall too many times there, I am finding this game very fun. It does help that a lot of the random battles go by very quickly. Especially with the speed up button. And the experience to battle ratio is also pretty good for this game overall. Yo, like, I was worried this would be a grind fest, but if you just fight stuff on the way, you don't really need to grind all that much. Like, I haven't actually needed to, like, I was really worried that when I fought the Earth Fiend that I would need to grind because I was doing such low physical damage to him, but then it turned out that he didn't have a ton of health, so I was still able to beat him with, Diaga spam. Well, that's annoying. I do kind of like how the status spells work in terms of animations, where if you see the animation, that means they worked. That is a bad combination of people to be asleep, but thankfully they woke up. Because, I mean, you know, it's probably pretty hard to sleep on the hot stone of a volcano. I mean, you know, in real life you would be dead if you did that, but still. There are apparently, like, actual, like, there are videos, I wouldn't exactly call them viral, but, like, I've heard there are videos online where, yeah, that blink's not gonna save you, where you can see what volcanic eruptions do to, like a house with a pool, and the pool just instantly evaporates. Whereas here, standing on lava just does 1 damage, it's fine. Oh, hi there, Red Dragon. I wonder what's better here, using, that looks like a stronger blaze than we saw, but yeah, that's definitely a stronger blaze, but I wonder if using the Worm Buster or using the Ice brand is better here. We are starting to encounter, like, actual dragons, so... Like, I don't know how much of a damage bonus the anti-dragon sword gives you. Is that going to be 2 dragons? No, just a fire lizard. Staff. It is a little weird that they're giving you early game tier weapons in the chests here. Like, again, if this was 12, I would kind of forgive that because, 12 has randomized chest contents, but, here, not so much. And yeah, Final Fantasy is one of those series where you have to kind of forget, Pokemon type science. This floor looks like it could be a boss. Yeah. It's like a giant cross shape, probably in the heart of the volcano now. But yeah, like, ice being effective against fire. That's typically the case for most of the Final Fantasy games. The one that often trips me up, though, is Earth being effective against wind-based monsters, because I'm used to it having no effect at all, because of, you know, another RPG series I grew up with. Yeah, that looks like a big... No? There's nothing in here. Huh. That's weird. Okay. But we can see into some other rooms here. Guess I just... Oh, okay, yeah, there is a room there. Right, so the boss is here, I think. But there are chests, so I'm gonna have to go and get those. Something I'll note too is that our levels are higher than I expected them to end up being, because I was always expecting that we'd end this game at about level 30. Knife, okay then. I think from what I remember, like, the original Dragon Quest 1 can be, Oh, this was a no-chest area, okay. Okay, will this be worth it? Not really. Okay, Cetra levels up, nice. Only one chest in this room. Just a potion. I think we can... No, we can't bypass that guy. Which means I hope the chest is something good. Oh, he was a fire lizard, apparently. And the chest is also monsters. I would have laughed if it was another fire lizard. One lizard wears a cloak, the other lizard likes to hide in chests. Okay, Teal levels up and only gains HP, and only 3 points at that. Okay, that actually was worth it. That was definitely worth it. Let me just quickly check something. I wish there was a sword function. Yeah, only the warrior can use that. So I want to hit up that one first, and then the crystal pedestal, or whatever it is. Okay, that wasn't worth it, but at least I got that chest. Does that mean I... Oh, I can't access the... Oh, no, I can, okay. I'm missing one chest. I mean, I have a feeling that there's probably some kind of an achievement for getting every chest in the game, but I'm not really going to be too bothered with that for this playthrough. I'll take whatever I can see, just in case there's something really useful like the flame mail was. Before I go into my pre-boss preparations, what I was saying about that Dragon Quest thing was that, I think if I'm remembering right, the original Dragon Quest can be beaten at around level 17 or something, and apparently it's borderline impossible to do it any lower. I'm not being the most efficient that I can be with these, but it doesn't really matter to me all that much. Now, let me just quickly check how much, how many magic levels I've got. Yeah, you're pretty fine on most things. And then Teal's, like, I don't have Blizzard Gar, so I'd probably rather haste and temper the two physical fighters here, especially since Cetro has an ice sword. We're all level 33, which is probably higher than you should be for this. So, you are the ones who defeated the Fiend of Earth and roused Marilith from her slumber. You're referring to yourself in third person there? Because I'm pretty sure you actually are her. Yeah, that's definitely her. The power of the burning flame is mine, and mine alone. Those who would oppose me shall burn in something you couldn't say in the NES days. Okay, that is cool. That is a cool sprite. This doesn't sound the same as the Earth Fiends theme. Do all the Fiends have their own unique boss themes? Because if so, that's really cool. Okay, I don't have, like, Null Blaze, though. Null Blaze would be really good right about now. I do, however, have Invisera and Protera. I said Protectora earlier, but I'll use Protera, and then you will definitely temper Cetro. And I'll probably haste him as well. Now, finally, Duncan gets to actually be useful for a boss fight. Well, kind of, because he's unarmed now. Hold. Oh, that's annoying. I've been seeing a lot of enemies doing that lately, so it was only a matter of time before a boss started using it. I suppose you can Invis-Ras too. I mean, there's nothing much better you have to do with your turn. And now you get hasted. Don't... Okay, good. Not Cetro. As long as it's not Cetro, I'm fine with this. With all those swords she has, you'd think that she'd be hitting pretty hard physically, but she seems to be constantly trying and failing to paralyze us right now. You can just defend until we need healing. We haven't even taken any damage yet. This is going to be sad if we actually kill her before she even gets to do anything to us. I think haste might actually be a bigger damage multiplier overall than temper, so I should probably put that on first. Yeah, 16 hits, wow. 10 hits with a presumably a weakness. Okay, finally she actually hit one of us. I don't really know how much Invis is really going to help here. I suppose you can heal. And then I guess you can go ahead and... I feel like she's probably nearly done already. Yep, there she goes. Called it. So yeah, really not that bad if you use buffs and stuff. She only hit us once. And was worth less experience than the average encounter in the ice dungeon. I mean, I admit this is like kind of my fault for going to the like ice dungeon before this one, but still, yeah, that wasn't that bad. This game overall, difficulty-wise, is probably not that bad. And that is another crystal, and I hope that achievement showed up. That's another crystal saved. So, let's, if I can get out here, let's leave. I mean, I think I left one chest behind, but I hope it's not anything too important. Because with that, we are out of there, and I think we have enough time to head back to the Crescent Moon town. Although I now know it is probably best to start with haste and then use temper, because, yeah, haste pretty much doubles your damage. So earlier when I was saying, oh, raises number of attacks, that's not nearly as broken as it is in later Final Fantasy games. Nope, haste is still amazing, to the surprise of absolutely no one. We're back, and I honestly don't even feel the need to use the inn yet. That's how pathetic of a dungeon and boss that was. But yeah, I'm kind of a little over-level for that. Get the feeling things are going to change once we head to the northern continents via our inevitable airship, though. So, anybody here saying anything different now that we've defeated Marilith? Cycle of Wrath, okay. Yeah, blah, 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 that. Okay, I feel like that's different. 4 crystals. 4 crystals. Well, yep, the Fiend of Fire is well and truly past now. Yeah, so, right, I wonder if somebody in town is going to tell us, because that's usually the case. Usually people in town will start saying different things. Yeah, I know about that. Is he finally awake? Oh, he is! Ah, okay. So that's supposed to be your hint as to where you're supposed to get Leatherstone, but I already found it because I went exploring everywhere that I could do at this point in the game. But is there anyone who's gonna tell you what we're supposed to do with the Leatherstone? I know there's a dwarf over in I was about to say Dwarfsville. Mount Duragar, I think it is, but Dwarfsville is funnier. That's what that's going to be called for me from now on, Dwarfsville. But I'm just going to restock my potions here. And get a few more Phoenix Downs. I have way too much gold right now, but that's probably going to change when we head a little further. I suppose I can. They're expensive, but I can get a few more cottages, so I have an even 10. Because, yeah, having accidentally looked a little bit ahead in the guide, I do know what we're supposed to do with the Leatherstone. But I feel like there has to be someone who would hint to you what to do with it. I'm probably missing it, but what I think is you actually need to go down to that desert that's directly below us. That's where I think we need to take the Leatherstone. So, I will be going ahead and doing that next time. So, until then, yep, see you. See you then, when hopefully we fly.